My name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. Today I want to talk about anonymization and data privacy. Most data privacy laws have exceptions in them related to how companies can use an individual's data if it is sufficiently anonymized. So anonymization means that, let's say, a company has several data points about the individual. Maybe they do something like mask the person's name, which is called a pseudonym, or change something about those data points so that the person can't be identified. Companies in some instances can take and use information or data and be able to develop insights. So this is commonly used in things like AI or machine learning, where they want to use data or information that would have, if not de-identified, not being able to be used. This is also especially important in things like research and health studies about health. So there are rigorous steps that are taken, especially in health situations, to try to de-identify individuals, as it is written in laws like HIPAA or laws anywhere around the world about health or even financial information. The issue with anonymization is all these different laws have different criteria about what they consider to be personally identifiable information and the combinations of data that make someone personally identifiable. An example of this is in the New York Shield Act, where they say something like someone's name and their email address together can be deemed as personally identifiable information. So let's say if you take that same data set and you anonymize the person's or pseudonymize that person's name and you still have their email address, it may be possible for you to use that data for other purposes because they feel as though if you take those steps that the person will not be able to be re-identified. The problem with anonymization, even though it is written into different laws, is that from a technological standpoint, there's so much data about individuals that are out in the wild, it's typically very easy to re-identify people. So I read a study recently where there were, they say, an average, sometimes companies may have up to 4,000 data points about an individual, but it only takes maybe 3 or 4 to re-identify a person because people tend to be creatures of habit. They don't really change a whole lot. So people are concerned about that data, even if it is de-identified in certain data sets. If it's combined with different other data sets, it makes it easier and easier for the person to be re-identified and possibly have that information being used against that person or being used in things like identity theft. Because if, for example, if a hacker can figure out a lot of, let's say your mother's maiden name or the school that you went to or something, it's very easy for them to answer those security questions and be able to do things like steal your identity. This is an open issue in the technology field because even when companies follow the law as it is written to anonymize a person's information, the chance is still there that even with the de-identified information, that someone like combining that data set with something else could easily re-identify the person. So again, it's an open issue. I'm hopeful to see what's happening in the machine learning and the AI space about that in terms of protecting individuals' privacy rights, especially if we know that it is pretty easy for data sets to be combined and that individuals can be re-identified. That's it. Thank you.